Welcome to Scrap It TV. Today I'm going to show you a technique called Crayon Resist. I've shown you some other stamping techniques in other episodes, but today I'm going to bring it up a notch and give you a little bit more advanced techniques to use on all of your paper crafts. Today what you'll need is some rubber stamps, an oil-based black ink and a water-based coloured ink. You'll also need a sponging tool and some cardstock. Okay, for today's technique I'm using a rubber stamp, just using white cardstock. We need to start with white and a black oil-based ink pad. You need to start with an oil-based ink as it needs to be waterproof for the Crayon Resist. So once your stamp is inked, stamp it onto your white cardstock. For this card I'm going to be stamping this flower twice, just to create a little garden. Now that you have your stamped image, what we need to do is colour in with a white crayon. Now any type of white crayon should work, so long as it's made out of wax. And all you do is just colour in various parts of the flowers. I'm colouring all of the petals, or most of the petals. I've coloured the flower with the white crayon. Now it's time for the resist. Using the water-based ink, lightly tap your sponge into the ink pad and start sponging around your card. When you're sponging, you want to start from the outside of the cardstock. If you start from the centre, you'll get marks or rectangle marks from the actual sponge itself. Underneath my cardstock I have a non-stick craft sheet. It helps when you're sponging as it's a smooth surface, so it eases you into sponging onto your cardstock. As you can see, the white crayon is starting to resist the water-based ink, and the darker I sponge onto the cardstock, the more resist will occur. So just keep adding the inks to the desired look that you're after. I've used a caramel ink for my first layer, but I'd actually like to introduce some other colours. So I've just lightly dabbed the sponge into some raisin ink and just adding little hints of raisin around the card just to give it a little bit more interest. I'm going to add the sentiment to the greeting card. So again, using the same technique, stamp the words with an oil-based black ink onto white cardstock. Then to do the crayon, I just lightly outline some of the words, and that just gives a little highlight. Once you've finished that, sponge just like you did the flowers, and the resist will appear. For this card here I've used a larger quote, and around the outside I've used a small flower and just repeated stamping around the corners to create that card. As you can see, this technique is also fabulous for scrapbooking pages. Here's a layout that I've done using that technique. For this one here, I've created certain different blocks with that technique. I've coloured in the butterfly. For certain words here, I've just used the crayon around the words and then also outlined some solid flowers. It's an interesting technique, Crayon Resist. Keep watching for more fun techniques. Catch you later.